Hello there! Hello again! Didn't expect to make another recording for Elden Ring, but here we are. And the reason for that is that I watched way too many... I watched way too many YouTubers playing Elden Ring and doing challenge runs and stuff. So I thought to myself, I can do level 1 challenge too, right? I can do it! Yeah, it's not gonna go well, but I see how far I can go anyways. Like I can imagine giving up on things like Malenia or Malekith or whatever, but we'll see. For now. And yeah. And obviously I'm not that good, right? So it's gonna take me a lot of attempts, I imagine. At least the later bosses. Maybe the early ones will not be so bad, but the later ones are probably gonna be annoying. So, a few things. So obviously we are level 1, right? As you can see. We're level number 1. That's the whole purpose of those challenges. Like, but that is the only really, right, rule. No leveling. Anything else goes. Although I'll try my best, obviously not to use summons, just because I really enjoy defeating bosses solo. So we'll see if that works, or you know, as much as unless I give up, obviously, then we'll see. But I don't know. It kind of defeats the whole purpose, I think, if we use summons at some point. But we'll see. We'll see. There might be some fights. I might consider that. Our weapon of choice is Flamberge, and the reason for that is I really wanted to make one of those level 1 runs with a Greatsword, and Flamberge is pretty much the only Greatsword, I think, that has like less than 16 requirements in strength and dex, right? Because it's 15-14, which means I can wield it with only Radagon Soreseal as my stat boosting amulet, right? Which frees up all of my other amulet slots for better ones, rather than having to use like more stat boosting amulets, basically, or having to rely on rune arcs. And obviously we are not good enough to rely on the rune arcs, because we are going to die a shit ton, right? So I would have to farm rune arcs by being, I don't know, good at PvP or farming rats or whatever. That I don't want to do that, obviously. Right. So that's why Flamberge, really. Like, one of the very few weapons I can use this way. I might try to use Bloodhound's Fang at some point, but that is one of the weapons that will require me to like sacrifice more amulet slots for extra stats, right? Because it has like, I think 18 strength and 16 dexterity, which is super annoying, right? So that is like a lot of extra item slots we have to commit to use that, although it's obviously better than Flamberge. We will be using some speedrun strats, like we're gonna be using the Golden Vow on a secondary weapon here. We will be eventually also using Flame Grant Me Strength. It's another thing I learned. It's very useful, but for that we need 5 extra faith, which we can get from Amulet. Which we can then swap out after we cast it, if you really want to, right? But I will see. I'll see how annoying that is, really. I can actually change my physics. We're gonna use a couple different physics too. Like, I'm gonna use the shield one simply because I'm bad. I could use more damage ones, obviously. But I think I'm gonna need the shield one, just to soften the learning curve for myself a little bit. And maybe once I'm more comfortable, I can switch to more damage ones. Because we can use the one that enhances charge attacks. Here, I'm gonna use instead of the health regen, because we heal to full anyways with every Estus or every flask. We could also use the faith boosting one to use the Flame Grant Me Strength, actually, now that I think about it, instead of the charge attack boost. So we could use this to have enough faith to cast it. It lasts 3 minutes, so it's enough for most of the fights. We have plus 10 strength here if we need to. Yeah, let's actually use this. It's gonna be interesting. Instead of the charge attacks, because maybe I don't need to use charge attacks for Margit specifically, and I wanna see how it's gonna go with the spells and stuff. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a long explanation, but that is kind of what we will be doing, and basically see how far we can go. Like in terms of armor or whatever, I just went for something I liked, that I could get my hands on early without going too far into stuff. Oh yeah, now obviously, since we are only limited in leveling, like I will be upgrading my weapons. Like I'm not good enough to do this like with no upgrades and stuff like this. So I already went out of my, I spent like, you know, 5 hours or something running around the world collecting materials. Obviously the not so great thing about Flamberge is that it upgrades with smithing stones, which means we are basically limited to plus 18 until we do kill Radagon, basically. Because we need to kill Radagon to progress Rani's quest, which will then unlock, you know, the later zones in Rani's quest, which have like a bunch of 7s and some 8s. So yeah, obviously we need to get some bosses done first before we can get this up a bit more, and then we'll be gated once more by Morgott. I believe we can get up to 23 before we have to kill Morgott, because there's not enough 8s in areas before the Fire Giants peaks. We'll be missing like six 8s or something. So or I don't know, maybe 5 or something, in order to get it to plus 24. Which is funny because we can actually get the slab, the final one, the Ancient Dragon one, before we can actually get it to plus 24, which is slightly annoying. Yeah, and the Raptor's Black Feathers is actually kind of nice because it both looks kind of cool and it kind of, you know, gives us a little bit of damage boost with jumping attacks if you want to. Although I'm not a big fan of jumping attacks, honestly. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, so we use this. We use this. Use this. Okay, see. He just stopped. Wow. Okay. I mean, obviously Margit is not gonna be, shouldn't be too hard, right? Hopefully.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Ooh. Yep, level 1 Margit, our first baby level 1 boss. Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention that is kind of cool about Flamberge, that it actually has bleed built in. right? So it's gonna help every now and again. Like, I'm not necessarily going to turn it into bleed, although I can actually, and I probably will, honestly. Because that's gonna be a lot of extra damage. It's probably gonna be more damage this way, right? Probably than any other way. Because if it turn it into bleed weapon, it's gonna have like 100 bloodless buildup, which I think is going to add up overall to way more damage than just, you know, flat fizz damage that we can deal with it. So yeah, that was Margit. See ya in another video, hopefully. I'm gonna portion those obviously into just the boss fights. Like, I'm not gonna do like a full recording of everything, because it's just boring, just running around, dying a lot while trying to collect upgrade materials and stuff. So yeah, well, let's see how far we can go. See ya.